And welcome to our weekly Icarus Patchnotes update. I'm here with Carl, so I'm gonna switch over to Discord again. Hey my man, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Not bad, not bad.
Thank you
Uh,
for another
Steam,
set of
Steam
questions.
summer sale, so massive discounts everywhere.
Yeah, there
Icarus
have
is
been,
like 35% off.
I see that indeed.
So, uh, and they put a fiber into the house, so I can now start looking for a fiber internet provider.
Oh, is
Yep.
it? Nice, nice. When was that? Was that just something you had to order, or was that something that was apartment complex based
So
sort of
I'm
setup? You know?
renting,
Yeah,
but it was like apartment complex wide. They put the cables in like free of charge.
yeah.
Uh, Fiber is
But
now
that,
into each apartment. So
okay, so that's been done now, because that
no,
wasn't done when you moved
nope,
into the place,
that is
basically. Okay,
correct.
got it. Yeah, so that's what I thought. So
Yeah. So I
that
had to
means you,
rely on internet via cable.
yeah.
It was still decent speed, but hey,
Yeah.
more speed is more better.
I'm happy with my half gig connection. If realistically you can go faster, but I don't need any faster than that to be honest. It's good enough.
I'm 200 M down, I believe, and 20 up.
Even on cable at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's still impressive if you ask me to be honest. But
true.
I mean,
Still better than
obviously,
DSL used to be back in the
yeah.
day.
I mean, true, true, true. But I mean,
But it
currently,
ain't fiber gigabit up, gigabit down.
no, no, true not. But I mean, I've got the fiber, but only half gig up, and my, I mean, sorry, half gig down, and my up is also, like I said, I'm not sure if it's. I'm actually doing a quick test. Yeah, up speed is like 60 megabits per second, but
That ain't
like I
bad.
said, I'm not. No, it's still, I mean, but I don't care realistically about the upload speed. It is nice for when I do work remotely and I have to upload some files or something to the office, but yeah, half gig connection, both like 508 megabits a second speed test, which allows me to update games at 50 megabytes a second
Oh yeah.
at certain points, which means, hey, that's freaking fast enough for me. That's I don't need anything more than that. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, for me
that,
as a streamer, upload is a bit more important, so
yeah,
better
true
upload
for
is
your
definitely gonna be
yeah.
better.
No, true for uploading videos and especially if you've got bigger resolutions or worse codec
Streaming actually.
encryptions. No, true.
I don't
But you still
record and upload. I just stream and record.
so you don't
And
oh,
like
so you don't have a YouTube channel, for example, that you
I
upload the
do,
stuff
but
to.
I export directly from Twitch to YouTube.
Oh, okay, so that's Twitch to YouTube. Yeah, I mean that's like I said, I have no idea how that works, but
I mean, I could do
that's
like
fine.
download it and then video editing and then upload, but no, I do
Yeah.
the unedited upload.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. I wasn't aware that there was such a fixture between Twitch and YouTube, but
Yeah,
hey, it does what it does. It's probably better for two big giants to have a good connection than you having to upload it again, so it's probably
exactly.
really quick between the two.
Uh,
But
to an
yeah,
extent, I do notice like if, for example, a 5 or 6 hour stream, it's taken a while before it's processed on YouTube.
it is a big file, so
Oh
that's
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the reasons that you also obviously
So
usually edit the recordings because it's
yeah,
also to use better compressions and codecs and obviously trim out fluff. So yeah.
yeah. So I'm very happy that I can export directly from Twitch to YouTube.
Yeah, but that's obviously one of the things we should discuss is what's coming up in 187.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I thought already existed because I was
Um.
under the impression that the workshop tools gave you the relevant bonuses when you bought the relevant red exotic,
To an
one. So,
extent, they did do the elemental damage to animals, but not to resources.
oh, okay, that was the thing. So I was under the impression that it did, but since I was wrong, we can discuss what
Uh,
is being covered this week.
yeah, this week 187 Prometheus tool perks added to the Inaris set. So we're adding Obsidian, Cold Steel and Miasmic perks to the Inaris tool set. Now week 187 is here and several workshop items are receiving perks previously only seen on Prometheus exclusive tools. Actually, tools crafted planetside on Prometheus.
Well, that's the thing. It sort of already sounds like, especially with the next line, you'll see. They'll just go for the next line.
Yeah. So these include obsidian, cold steel, and miasmic bonuses and improvements to the Inaris set, which is bought from the Orbital Workshop with Red Exotics. So you need
Okay,
Red
so that is
Exotics
the
to
one.
get
Yeah,
the tools.
got it. Yeah, so that is the set. I
Yeah.
thought there was going to be like new items because they were
No.
bugged, but
No.
these
No.
are the ones that I thought were working that just didn't work the way
Yeah,
I thought they
they
were.
like I said, they work to an extent. You could do the miasmic damage to animals. You hit
Yes,
them with
using a pickaxe
with a
to,
pickaxe, and
yes,
they would get the poison damage. It did
exactly, and you
not
definitely,
work on resources until
and
now.
that's, but that is stupidly surprising because you obviously never bought a pickaxe to go hit animals. You bought a pickaxe to go mine,
Yeah,
and then you bought the pickaxe with the miasmic thing, thinking that when you hit the
for
damn
now,
thing, you're gonna
true.
get the. Now, yes, but it's
For
been how
now,
long since these items were released?
that is true. I mean,
It's been what?
in here, Patchnotes, there is, I believe in this Patchnotes, there's something stated about like the rock golems hit them with a pickaxe, so you do more damage to their
Yes,
armor. But that's a great hunch, which is not in yet.
yes, but it's just it's shocking to me personally that these items were released back when like Prometheus was basically implemented, and the bonus effects were introduced, and the fact is that they did not work up until now. I don't know if
Did
it
not
was
work on
initially
resources, yes, and
on resources. Yes,
and it's
that
something
was my point though.
I've been talking
But that
about before as well. Yeah, like
but that is shocking,
I
to be
tried it
honest.
out, grabbed the poison pick, the miasmic pickaxe. Sorry, the
Well,
axe.
mostly the axe.
Cut
Yeah, the
down
axe. Yeah.
trees and no
Where's my
infected bark,
infected bark?
etc.
Yeah,
etc.
that's.
Exactly.
But that's the thing that sort of really surprises me. But let's get through the notes because let's see if there was a
Yeah.
reason for this.
So we're also talking about great hunts and what you can do to be ready to jump in and start on day one. First of all, a couple of notable improvements. Now the mission selection UI has been updated both visually and feature-wise. You can now see any blueprints, workshop items, talents and other rewards on the button itself with their own tooltips or when clicking into the mission and seeing the preview screen. So visual changes there. The contact device has been updated to include new images on the backgrounds and a more cohesive look. They've also removed the armor from the Hammerhead Slug boss as it was not meant to be used in that manner. Which would indicate that Hammerhead Slug boss should be slightly less difficult now. Right, for this
I
week. Yeah.
I can't recall the hammerhead having armor.
I don't know. Did we get like hard points when we were fighting the Hammerhead Slug?
That's the thing I can't remember. All I remembered was
Me
a
neither.
freaking messy ass
Yeah,
fight.
frantic shooting and fighting and doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So, but yeah, let's carry on then.
Yeah. So this week, Prometheus tool effects. Now, Obsidian, Cold Steel, and Miasmic bonus perks were found on tools introduced in the New Frontiers DLC. And now these special perks can be also used on some workshop equipment. So we get some Inaris set bonuses. If we look at the axes, you have the Dawn, the Ursa and the Sali axe. The Dawn and now gains Obsidian perk to get coal. Cut down a tree and there is a chance of like I would have I would have expected charcoal, but they do mention coal here. The Ursa Frost. Uh, cut down a tree and there's a chance of you getting chilled wood. Now chilled wood, if you burn it in the fireplace, takes longer before it completely burns up.
Do we know how much longer?
I never actually tested out how much
W-
longer.
Would it be comparable to coal and to a like
And to the
furnace
fuel
or
bricks,
something?
I don't know.
Or yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, this is the thing because if it's but yeah, and yeah. carry on then, yeah.
In the
But the most
Sali
important one,
X, the
yes,
most important one, gains a miasmic perk to get infected bark. Yay! Our eternal struggle for epoxy will be over.
correct. Not that
Now,
it's a big issue, but to get crushed bones and
true.
those kinds of
And you
things.
can
But the
always go for
efficiency you get
the,
on it is
yeah,
insane.
you can
I
always
still
go
think they
for
need to
the,
nerf it. They still need to nerf it because it's way too much epoxy that you get out of it per unit. But
true,
I'm just
true.
because it's ridiculous amounts. But yes, it's nice.
So on Prometheus at some point you just switch back to a normal titanium X again because you will be
Yeah, you have
swamped
way too
with
much. Yeah,
infected
exactly.
bark. Now do keep in mind that you will still need to build an organic residue cleanser to process the infected bark,
Yeah.
for which you need obsidian, which is not found in Styx and or Olympus. Two ways to get it. One is buy a resource pack from the workshop, and the other one is use the Viridian pickaxe. Let's quickly go through the pickaxes. So the Claret pickaxe gains the obsidian perk to instantly smelt ore. So you have
Um,
straight away you have the ingots
so the
or
question is
glass
that on
with
all?
silica.
Well, the question would be, is that all ores? So that would
Yeah,
includes like pretty much got all the way from the iron all the way up to
all the ores, like glass for silica and such things.
interesting. So that would actually also be very useful for like speed running certain because
It
you
it
rarely
is a
use
chance.
ore itself. Oh, is
It
it a
it's
chance?
chance.
Ah, okay. Carrying on then.
From what I have noticed, it's not like the miasmic 1-on-1. It's a
Okay.
chance.
Okay, I got it. I thought it was a guaranteed, just everything becomes smelted ingots, which is very
No, no, no,
convenient.
no, no, no. No, and then it would be only be 50% because the miasmic one is 50% or 50% noxious crust.
Oh, I see what you mean. So you would still get ore, and then
Yeah,
some of it would be smelted. Okay, got it.
which is
Yeah,
good
makes sense.
because you need glass, but you also need silica for concrete
True.
mixing.
No, of course it is, but I was just thinking like, oh, you just go, the axe hits a rock and turns it into a neat pile of ingots. How convenient.
No, no, not a 100%.
Got it.
The Viridian pickaxe gains a cold steel perk to get frozen ore. Now, frozen ore you can thaw out in basically any heat source. Campfire, fire pit, fireplace, also the furnaces. Now, you get a random ore. The ore pool for frozen ore does include obsidian.
Thought so. Yeah.
So, get yourself a Viridian pickaxe and start mining some resources. Even stone.
Does it stone? That was the
No,
question, including stone. Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, including stone, yeah. You get a frozen ore, you thaw them out, you throw away all the silver and silica, etc., what you don't need, and you keep the stuff that you do want to keep, like the obsidian. And the obsidian you can use to build an organic residue cleanser, which you then can use to turn infected bark into epoxy. Again, you need to be tier 4, so don't expect like, hey, I'm gonna get me the Sari X straight away be able to produce massive amounts of epoxy. No, you'll need to get to tier 4, make yourself the organic residue cleanser, and then you can turn the infected ore into epoxy. Now the third pickaxe, the Knight pickaxe, gains a miasmic perk to earn noxious crust. Um, with a planet-side crafted miasmic pickaxe, your yield is reduced by 50%, but you get the same amount in noxious crust, which turns into 5 minerals. So you're basically tripling your yield.
Yeah.
Noxious crust is always the same mineral type as you are mining.
But it does give you a little bit of a debuff in regards to stack enough
It'll
of it,
poison
and
you,
you
yeah.
take some. Yeah, yeah. So,
But where the frozen ore is basically random, the noxious crust is like you know what you're gonna get.
No, true. It's really useful, and that's
Yeah,
why we use the miasmic perk pickaxes.
oh, yeah, definitely for exotics mining.
Exactly.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
true, true, true. But it's also just in general, if you wanted more
yeah,
resources and you have the cleanser, that you're able to obviously get this processed quite nicely.
yeah.
But the question there is mostly like, yeah, what would be the yield bonus or the base yield bonus versus the top tier workshop pickaxes and the miasmic perk infused
Yeah,
planet-sized crafted
for
ones.
that
So
I
we'll have
need
to see.
to jump into
To see.
a
Yeah.
Prometheus prospect to actually look at the yields of the
Yeah.
miasmic pickaxe.
I'll do that eventually, but it's fine for now. But it is nice. But the knives are up
Knives as
next.
well. You have the Crimson knife. Gains the obsidian perk for a chance to cook meat instantly if you skin an animal. Uh, the cerulean knife. Chance to get chilled meat. Now I assume, but this is new for me, I've never used a cold
Yeah,
steel knife. I assume it has a slower spoil time.
it could do. Definitely, I don't think there's any recipes like, like
It's
steak
not a new
tartare or
resource.
something.
No,
No,
it's not a new resource.
exactly. So it probably just does mean that the spoil time is less, which is
Yeah.
questionable how practical it is. But obviously, each of the
Uh,
weapons have their
if
innate
you're
bonus proc. So
Yeah, but if you're out hunting for a specific meat type,
yeah,
stringy
true,
meat, for example,
true,
you
true.
can stay out longer before
True.
the meat spoils.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, it stacks into 20. Spoiling one of the
that is
20
true.
isn't the end. If it was like, oh, all 20 of them are spoiling at the same time, then it would definitely be more valuable.
True,
But
but if you're out for
obviously,
an hour, you'll be
yeah,
losing quite a few spoiled meats. At least
depends how many stacks
I
you have.
think
Yeah, but
think three
yeah.
per stack. If this were like half the
Well,
or like double
depends
the
on your
spoil time,
talent.
uh, that would make a bit of a difference. And yes, the more stacks you have, the more effect it will have, obviously. But still, it is nice.
Yeah, it's something, but yeah, like I said, it's not the you're not gonna buy it just to get the chilled meat thing. It might be more for, oh, it's a knife, you use it to stab things with, and therefore the cold proc is to
Yep,
slow down things. So that's
exactly.
nice. It's almost like a second electro. Like I said, there's
Yeah,
other reasons you would buy it, but this is
exactly.
the side effect. But
Yeah,
also,
like denies frost damage and additional
yeah,
a chance for chilled meat.
exactly,
Same with the obsidian knife, the crimson knife. You do the fire damage,
yeah,
and if you skin with it, there is a chance you get cooked
it
meats
sounds cooked,
straight
yeah,
away.
which is fine.
But the main thing is the fire damage.
Which could be viewed as a negative because what we obviously intend to do with the stringy is not to cook it, but rather to
Exactly.
dry it. So,
So kill it with a crimson knife and then skin it with a cerulean knife.
yeah, pretty much. But what about the shade
The
knife?
shade knife gains a miasmic perk to get ecstatic glance, which in turn, I believe in the organic residue cleanser as well, can be turned into animal fat.
Oh, so acidic glands get turned into
Yeah,
animal fat.
yeah.
Wasn't there something else that was used for as well? Like because you get them from the swamps, right? So,
Yeah. No, you in the swamp is for another thing you get in the swamp is the crystallized miasma, which you can
yeah, but the
turn
gland.
into the distilled miasma, which you need to make the
Oh, was it
miasmic tools.
miasma? Oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
was misunderstanding what it was. I thought it was the miasma. So if this is something else, so you said the
This is
glands.
acidic lens, which you usually drop, because you have
Okay.
you get enough meat to turn into animal fat anyway. But
Yeah. So okay. So this is just the turns into. There's no other reason to use this or to get
no,
the
not
gland.
really. I mean the poison
Yeah.
damage, which is good in the Arctic,
That's fine.
frost in the volcanic and desert. So in the Arctic is poison, and then in the swamp it's gonna be the fire. Week
Yeah.
week two.
That's that's it. So seems good.
It's
But
very interesting and indeed long overdue. I do agree with you there. Long overdue. I don't know why they didn't implement this straight away.
yeah. but I'm pretty sure we'll be buying the Sally knife, plus maybe looking
the Sally
into
axe, the axe, not a knife.
oh
And
sorry, yeah, the Sally axe, yeah.
I will get a Viridian pickaxe as well, because
Yeah,
I
well that's the
want
one, yeah.
the yeah,
Yeah,
or get a
resource pack. Yeah, like I
resource
said,
pack.
we'll see. Well, it's
By
like I said, it's the resource pack is cheating it or cheesing it a little bit one way,
yeah,
but what we
yeah,
can do is say, well, let's both get the Viridian axe, pickaxe that is, and then go hit a bunch of stone and see out of
see
a
if we get frozen
1,000 or
ore.
500, yeah, how much obsidian would we get out of it? Because I
Yeah.
don't know. There's no way I would know how much we need
Um,
to make the cleanser, but
Back in the
yeah, that's
day when
something.
I was using the cold steel pickaxe on Prometheus still, until I was like, yeah, you know what's not useful, I have to throw out too many resources. I
Mhm.
believe I got like equal things like iron, copper, gold, silica, sulfur,
It's useful for us. We
obsidian,
need everything.
uh,
So,
super cold ice as well, by the way.
but it's still a yield increase, right? Because if you think about it from the perspective of the knight pickaxe, obviously that gives us like a triple or quadruple yield, so we get like a large yield
Triple,
bust,
triple,
triple yield.
yeah.
So the Viridian pickaxe would give us only the same yield, and part of it would also be discarded because part of it
No,
becomes
I think it's the
random.
same, like 50% yield and 50% frozen ore. But the thing is,
So it's
frozen ore is random.
yeah, no,
So
yeah.
you,
So you actually lost if
yeah,
you wanted
it
to,
will
yeah.
definitely not be a triple yield of this specific material.
No, I know what you mean, but it's more like, okay, fine, it's maybe uh 50% of it would be the base
50, and
material, so
then
you do lose,
the other
but then
50%
100%,
like
no, no, but that's the thing, then you would get another, then you would get two pieces of frozen, so you wouldn't
even
lose.
if would be like 10% of the frozen ore turning into the material.
Yeah,
That would be like 5%. You will end up with 55% of that material, but you will get other materials.
yeah, but like I said, it's just like,
So
yeah, like I
yeah,
said, it's considering you lose the massive yield
yeah,
bonus loss, but yet again,
yeah,
we're going to be hitting stone, so that's
yeah,
not a big loss,
exactly.
so it's fine. But then let's move on to what's coming soon.
Tackling Great Hunts. Now, before Great Hunts launches, we thought it would be helpful to talk about the difficulty level and how you can prepare yourself to hop right into the new content when it releases. Now, Great Hunts will have you venture through all the biomes across each respective map for every campaign tree. This means you'll experience both ends of the temperature scale, heat and cold, so having specific outfits prepared will give you a leg up on those who only bring one. Uh, what we saw in the null sector in the S-lines, the composite armor didn't cut it. We
Yeah,
had to go to the obsidian
obsidian.
armor,
Yeah, and
and the
obviously have
same
fur armor. Yeah,
fur armor for the
would have been nicer if there was another tech
Arctics,
tree like type of level, but obviously the only thing higher than fur was
the
the
Arctic.
polar bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so which is a talent based one.
Well, at
So
least there is
might
like 6 different hot drinks.
yeah, but I think it's still not might not be a bad idea that I'll spend one of my characters and just go back. I think one of my characters has the perk for it, so we just have to collect the bear pelts and then I'll sort
Yeah.
of drop down with that
Did you
character.
know, by the way, you can make Arctic pelts with wool and fiber?
I did not know you could do that.
I noticed this yesterday when I was playing. I needed to collect 150 Arctic pelt,
Yes,
and then I was
that
looking at Arctic pelt in the in the guide,
the thingy. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
field guide,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then I noticed, hey, you can actually make it with wool and fiber. And obviously, wool comes from sheep, so you have to buy it from the workshop, a sheep,
I
and
haven't
then you
seen
have
a
to
sheep
like
yet,
level it up.
so I mean that
So,
might be worth doing to be honest as well, because
well, how much
technically
Arctic
going to
pelt you gonna need? Not a whole lot.
uh I think you do need you need like 100 for 2 sets or for 3 sets. Yeah,
Yeah,
you need a little bit.
not that much actually.
I
I
think
was
it was like
looking.
closer to 30 or 40 basically
No,
for the
I
sets.
was looking at the armor sets, and all in all, I didn't think it was that much.
That
Plus,
wasn't like insane amounts, yeah, but
sticks. just kill the. Let's
Polar
see.
bears.
The shaggy zebras is Prometheus, or is it Styx? No, it's Prometheus. Shaggy zebra. Tusker is Styx. So we can check whether or not Tuskers also give us Arctic pelt. I mean, I can easily quickly grab a sheep from the workshop. Don't get me wrong. We will need to build a pen, obviously, but we
I
can
thought it
do
was
that.
only polar bears that gave Arctic pelt.
Polar bears, Arctic moas.
They gave Arctic pelt?
They give Arctic pelt, 2 to 4. Arid stalker. Oh yeah, Tusker definitely also gives. Shaggy zebra
Is it?
gives.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was just,
Field guide.
polar bear.
That's
But
wrong.
okay, on Olympus, there's only polar bears, right? So,
And Arctic moa.
therefore... Oh, is there also Arctic
Yeah, yeah.
Moa? Okay, well, that was the thing. I
Yeah, I was
wasn't
looking at the
aware.
field guide like, okay, which animals are we giving
Yeah,
Arctic pelt? Because I thought snow
alright.
leopards also gave. Turned out
No,
not.
no, no. No, no, they wouldn't give. No, no, I recall.
Right.
No, it was only polar bears. Yet
So it's
again, I'm
polar
old
bears
school.
definitely, and the Arctic
So,
moa, but also shaggy zebra, the
okay.
tusker, and the snow walker
Yeah, the thing, yeah.
in Prometheus.
Alright.
So yeah,
Well,
those 5.
we'll see.
So mission chains. These mission chains are also long and fraught with danger. After all, Great Hunts is gonna be like an end game thing. Definitely not an early game. Medical supplies such as splints, elixirs and bandages are necessary, along with ample food to replenish your health and stamina. Cakes, chocolate cake with 200 or 300 or something health. Prime
As long as there's
meats.
no, as long as there's no
Mm,
spoil debuffs or something in the area, then it
uh,
should be fine. But
maybe I should swap out the chest armor attachment, the carry attachments like inventory slot attachment for the food slot attachment. So I can get a 4th stomach slot as well.
well, we don't need that many slots anymore because of pouches. So
Exactly. So that's why I can now switch out. One of those
yeah,
is
we'll
4
start
or
playing around with
6.
other modules.
Yeah.
It's 4 or something. It's a couple, but yeah. It's 6 slots in the pouch, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty much one of
And
those
it's
equal a module slot, so it's pretty good.
yeah, and it's very very handy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, actually, one of the things we might do on our, obviously we still need to craft ourselves armor sets on the planet side, but we'll see
Yeah.
what we can get to when we're there.
So we also recommend over planning for your ammunition supplies. You might burn through your stocks quickly, and for non-bow users, your ammunition is not recoverable. Weapon repair kits and the basic supplies for a pop-up shelter can also be handy.
And
So
like I said, I
pop-up
keep
shelter, a generator, a repair bench, bunch of
yeah,
materials.
I definitely want to craft the magazine or the magazine fed crossbow because that thing is quite nice and
Yeah,
convenient, and with
titanium
the
crossbow.
perks, obviously you can get 2 shots quite frequently that basically allow
Yeah,
you to do quite a bit more damage and obviously retrieve your bolts pretty efficiently.
yeah.
So it is a
And then
sort of,
put the
but obviously
attachments on for less durability loss, etc.
you could do that, but I wasn't too bad with the durability. I have the perks for those pretty much, so
Yeah.
or the talents, so that's not too bad. But in general, yeah, it's ammunition is the biggest thing. But
Oh yeah.
but it's usually mostly on the
Okay.
ammunition side for projectile. I mean for bullets. And
Yeah.
the thing is now with the extra pouches, it's way easier because that was the one thing that I had of my character that we ran in the freaking
Yeah.
the null sector was the fact that yes, more than 20. How many more slots was it? It was 23 of my slots
Yeah.
were like dedicated to just
Ammo.
bolts and bullets.
Yeah.
Basically, that's it. It's just that was all of it.
So
So yeah.
you'll so 23 would be 24, so you would have like 4 slots remaining with pouches with ammo. Now, do
Yeah.
keep in mind you cannot reload from
Doesn't
pouches.
reload. Yeah, no, of course. But this is the thing. So at the very least, it would mean that my 23 would drop to like 11.
Yeah.
Well, something in that line because I
All
had
the
another
extra
stack spare.
stacks you can
Yeah,
put in pouches.
that's probably what I'll end up
Yeah.
doing, which is still nice.
Now, this content is considered fairly endgame and not to be taken lightly. High-level characters and well-planned teamwork will make it more manageable for solo players. Now, Tier 4 gear is likely to be the most effective. Composite armor with quite decent stats, but we can look into very specific armor sets indeed. But a well-planned strategy with Tier 3 gear can also be successful. Plan accordingly and get hunting. Keep in mind the ice mammoth, for example, is an Arctic creature. So you might want to go with your Arctic armor there.
Correct.
Instead of composite armor.
True.
Or go
Purely because it's
composite
cold.
and use multiple hot rings. And
Yeah, I
keep an
mean
eye on the
it's a pain.
expiration timer of those
It's a
drinks.
pain. So pretty
True.
much it's a pain to do that. So pretty much just sort of if you're going to go into the Arctic, then I mean we were fine into the light Arctic zones with our composite armor, you know. So that was fine because
Yeah,
so
the
when we
normal
were
Arctic zones, but the null sector
yeah.
Arctics.
Yeah, no. That's the thing. No, so that was way too cold. So the fact there is that yeah, it depends on the severity of it. And if null sector has its own tiering of how cold it gets, and that's more extreme than the Great Hunt's zones for where the mammoth
uh,
is and all those things, then
I
it's
am kinda hoping that those zones will not be in the null sector.
yes, that's what I'm wondering. I don't think it should be, but like I said, we'll see.
Null sector is already like late game. You don't wanna drop
Late
in
game
there,
and late
go
game.
there with like
Yeah,
a level 10 character. You'll
of
die.
course. Oh, yes, it's yeah. But also, to be honest, it would be a pain in the rear end to have. I mean, if you think about it, certain Great Hunt bosses won't be in those. It might not be a bad, I think, to put certain Great Hunt bosses in the null sector to make it even more difficult to do them. But yes, it's
It,
you could have Great
yeah,
Hunt
make it more
bosses not.
difficult, but keep it playable, please. Keep it
Y-
achievable.
True, but like I said, it's basically like yeah, you could have the non null sector bosses, which are still pretty much great fun. You can get those done, but then there is another level of difficulty for certain bosses which are
Yeah.
in the sector, which you actually need to have, set up even better, basically. So
Yeah.
it's content. But the next
Uh,
bullet point
so
is hmm?
remember we talking about them changing to generic biomass. So you can kill
Yeah.
a black wolf and then use the biomass for the quarite gauntlet or something, whatever.
Well, part of it, yeah, because it's you don't just only get that, you also get unique items per the boss that you would still
No,
need to
no longer.
use.
They
No longer?
switched. No, they
Everything?
switched it to generic biomass.
I know that they did do that, but it was basically more along the line of, oh, you used to kill the boss 20 times in order to get the item, but now it's like, okay, you need to kill him once to get the unique item that you need to
The
actually craft
license.
the unique
Well,
weapon. The
you
license, yes,
there
the
is.
license, and then you could use the
I've been
stuff to get
asking
it.
around a bit about this.
They talked about you can buy it.
You need to complete a certain mission chain to
Mm.
actually unlock the legendary weapon for that animal. So
Oh,
you
is it?
unlock the license for, or maybe you get it if you complete the last mission of the chain, something to that extent. But
Or you buy it.
you need to finish a mission chain for a certain animal to unlock the weapon for that animal. So you can't just say, I'm just gonna kill 20,000 black wolves and I'm not gonna kill any of the others and I'm still gonna unlock and upgrade all the weapons for all the animals. That's not gonna work. So you have to kill it at least once.
Mm-hmm.
So at least there is that.
Did somebody deliver something?
Hmm?
No. Apparently, yeah. Let's carry on. Next week, Fireworker.
So next week we're making some long-awaited improvements to the thrusty Firewacker, an icon of Icarus. Oh yeah,
Well, I hope
this
what
was
they've
like
done was I hope
the
what they've done is actually fix it because last time we used them in the last
yeah.
streaming session, this is the fact that you didn't have any audio feedback. Visually, it was difficult to determine if you were doing anything other than roasting yourself alive. So yes,
Yeah. Um, the fact that you can't see the fire as a client doesn't have anything to do with
No, I
the
could see it. No, I
fire
could see the
whacker.
fire. But no, we could see the fire.
Yeah,
But
but
it was just
also
we
if it's
couldn't
like
see.
turned off
We didn't
already, turned
see it.
out, but still showing the trees burning, whilst they were
True.
no longer burning, uh,
But
that has nothing to do with the fire whacker.
well, no, it doesn't. But it does have to do with the audio effect of it,
Yeah,
because the audio effect of it was the key originally, because it gave you a little bit of a sizzling sound if you were hitting
and
a thing
actually, well,
that
you
was
had to hit it multiple
extinguishing.
times
No, exactly,
before it
because
turns it out.
it's sizzling, and then it's like, oh, it's not sizzling anymore. So even though I see fire, it's not on fire. I can move on to
Uh,
the next piece.
and you can actually hear it as a little bit of a whoosh if you actually put
Yeah,
out a piece of fire.
well, I think so,
I
but
know so.
like I said, but that's great. But it's also just the fact that yeah, an item should work, and
Yeah,
especially if it's been this long in the game, it used to work, but
it used
last
to
time we
work
used it,
indeed,
it didn't work. So yeah,
but
fix it.
they
So
they're gonna improve it.
good.
So this will include improved firefighting performance, specifically versus forest fires. So turn it out faster, I think. It will
Hmm.
have increased extinguished area.
So you don't have to be in the fire anymore in order to
Exactly.
sort of use it, because that was also fun. Is it, am I close enough for it to do anything? Well, I
And then
can't
you're
hear it
so close that you're gonna be set on fire yourself, I know.
pretty much. Yeah. So
And also a longer foliage reignite time after being put out. So
that's
if you
also
try to
useful. Yeah.
contain the fire,
Yeah.
it's not gonna spread behind your back as quickly as it did before. Like gonna spread again and like
Yeah,
so
and just reignite
yeah.
basically as you just put it out. Because usually it's like, oh, it's just easier and quicker to just pick it up and then extinguish it that way rather than trying to
I was
extinguish it. So
already doing like the hitting with the firecracker and simultaneously picking up.
yeah, so
Yeah.
but that's good.
Many a times, like behind my back, the fire went like, okay, I'm gonna reignite the bush again because you missed like one piece there, and then like spread beyond where I was trying to contain it. That should be improved now. Especially important in Styx and Olympus. Prometheus not so much. There's less foliage there, so fire doesn't spread as much. Um, On the other hand, if there's now a whole area of forest destroyed by fire, all you need to do is run a localized terraforming device to regenerate the trees. So forest fires are less of an issue nowadays. But yeah, the fireworker indeed became pretty ineffective, especially if you had like a big forest fire. So I'm glad they fixed that. Right, now your support makes these updates possible. So if you want to support the team, uh, consider getting one or more of the DLCs. DLCs is where they fund their development from. So you want to allow them to be able to keep improving the game, keep developing the game. Feel free to consider getting some of the DLCs. Keep in mind it is still Steam Summer Sale at the moment, so you will have a nice discount. So you can either go for loose DLCs or bundles like the Pets bundle, which gives you like the Zebra Rescue Mission, the only way to get the Zebras as a mount. Creature Comforts pack for some more fancy food and water troughs and also some extra saddles. Or the pet companions, which gives you a couple more variants of the dogs, the cats, and the actual horsey as well, actual earth horse. Or just go for, you know what, I want to support them a lot. I'm just gonna go for the dynamic bundle, complete the set, which will basically add everything you don't have yet. Changelog, very simple. Adding the elemental effects on the Prometheus workshop gear.
Yep.
Fixes, a couple of them. Tweaked visuals on the Plains Equix trophy, so it no longer looks like it just shoved its hoof in an electrical socket.
Nice.
Yeah, I was laughing when I read the description as well. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't recall seeing it, but I do recall something. So yeah, if it does look like he had one hoof in the socket, then yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
Adding mission rewards user interface to the orbital mission selection screen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be clearer what you get for the rewards.
Yeah.
And updating mission select screen to show unlockables with tooltips. Now, in week 184, so 3 weeks ago, they spread out a couple of them rewards like the sandworm armor and sandworm weapons. They like split it into multiple missions. One in Prometheus, sorry, in Olympus, one in Styx. So if you do want to get a complete sandworm set, you also need the Styx DLC. They split out the Black Wolf stuff, I believe, into multiple the rewards into multiple missions and sandworm and such. They also made it so if you have one character that already has done the old missions or the new missions, uh, the rewards are now account wide and no longer character wide. So one character having done the missions already and having the unlocks, just logged into a prospect, and then it will unlock all those items for all your characters. Very handy. So you can straight away from you craft a new create a new character. You can straight away already make the cave-worm bow. You just need the bench to do it in.
Yeah.
You don't have to like do 25 missions before you get to the mission where you actually unlock the cave-worm bow. By which point it is outdated already because you have better weapons already. So I think it's a good thing.
Yep.
And now we get to the future content. A lot of new achievements, by the way, here. But yeah, let's see. Ironically, corrected spelling of anti-materiel rifle.
Yes.
Ironically.
Yeah, I think they probably
Yeah.
So with an A, but regardless, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, the irony, they corrected the spelling.
Well, I think they
Um,
might have done that intentionally to sort of
maybe this
indicate
is the
that
old spelling. Yeah. Okay.
that's the thing. Yeah. So
Oh,
that's pointing it out. Yeah.
oh. There's going to be new accolade electroshock. So I reckon get hit by an electro weapon and you get like zapped.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're going to be fighting, prospector bases and those types of things. So it's possible that those drones are going to try and zap you. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but I can hit you with my knife as well, and then you get
Yeah, true.
electroshocked, and then you get the achievement.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. But it might never have been calculated or possibly done on a NPC towards a player rather than
True,
player to
true.
player. So maybe it's like a flag or something that has to be set.
Nah, this is going to be a new accolade.
Oh, okay.
So new Steam achievement thingy,
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
or something.
So,
Or maybe it is indeed an in-game accolade, kill X amount of enemies with electro, I don't know.
yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. Or with the backpack on, which is something that can just be generated over time. But it depends if it needs to be the tick of electricity that kills it or whether or not it's killed under the influence of the electroshock. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
Junior Rock Golem armor plates no longer ricochet. And he now also takes extra damage if player targets area underneath armor plates that are destroyed.
mm.
So you hit the weak point, if you hit smoke, just where this one skill was missing, then you do extra damage with your black arrow and all that stuff.
Yeah. And one of the perfect ways of speaking English was they decreased the reload speed upgrade on the Sandworm crossbow from 75% to 33% so that it doesn't look jank.
Janky.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they missed the Y.
No, no, it doesn't really matter. But jank
Australian, yeah.
is jank is exactly.
Eh,
Yeah.
it looks
So
a bit janky. Slang, okay.
yeah, jank. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah. So
Let's see.
I added accolades to swimming in lava. That's something you would want to go do.
Yep. But
So
also having
having
frostbite and heat exhaustion at the same time.
it's like I'm freezing. Oh, you know what's going to be hilarious if they put that in there? It's like the accolade should be called "Terrible Housewife." You know, so it's like you've burnt frozen food. It's still frozen and burnt at the same time.
Yeah.
So somebody has amazingly accomplished something.
No.
So
But yeah,
yes,
I think
good
this
job.
that accolade, frostbite and heat exhaustion at the same time. The easiest way is to go to the
We've
cave
had it.
between
Yeah,
ashlands
yeah,
and ice sheets. First go into the ice sheet without
and
armor, drink a cold drink, so you get
just
really cold. Wait till you get frostbite. Then
just
without armor still run towards the ashlands. Drink
I
like
don't
six hot drinks.
I don't think you need that over there. In that cave, you can literally just go into the cold zone without armor, literally turn into a popsicle within a couple of seconds, then just try and crawl into the hot zone and then just be overwhelming and be roasted
Yeah.
within a minute, and then you've
Yep.
got it. You don't need the drinks. You just have to take off armor in that biome because yeah, it'll do the trick.
They adjusted the meta biofuel canisters, the flamethrowers, and the gauntlets to all counter biofuel as part of their weight as a follow-up on the variable weight for the biofuel and water containers,
Ooh.
the liquid containers.
The added clip spinning animations for the Black Wolf revolver. How could they have introduced a revolver into any form of a game that did not have a clip spinning capability? That is the one reason that you have a revolver is that you can go click against the side and go down, and then it goes grrr, and then it sort of spins the drum. That's the reason that a revolver exists.
No, it's not
So
brrr, it's like click, click, click after each shot.
no,
It's
no, no,
like
no. When you put your hand, when you
okay,
put your hand against the
yeah,
result, you clap it, and it goes. Brrr, it's the point.
true.
It's to spin the barrel. That's the reason you do it. It's that you have to do it. It's the law.
Very useful skill to have if you play a lot of Russian roulette.
Yeah, but just it's you have to do it. But yeah,
True.
and then so that's what I liked about that one.
Fix carbon weave armor set bonus name.
Yeah,
Carbon
don't
weave is
really.
new.
Was it new?
No,
I could have
there is
sworn, wasn't
platinum
it?
weave, and there is
Oh, you're right.
a
Yeah.
carbon fiber. There's no
Yes,
carbon
yes,
weave.
yes. Correct. Yeah. Could be
So
carbon weave because it is, yeah, you do weave, you do create like a carbon fiber weave kind of thing. So
I don't know.
you weave the laminates of carbon fiber to make a very strong text composite. So it's obviously used in carbon fiber. It's a weave thing. You weave it, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. But,
could be just wording, but yeah.
um, let's see. Oh, Quarite campaign on Olympus, Rhyme Tusk campaign on Prometheus, and we saw the Great Ape Arena, or at least which we both have the strong suspicion it is the Great Ape Arena in Styx.
Ooh. So adjusting stats on Ice Mammoth armor. So it now sits at T4. What is Ice Mammoth armor? Is that
A
something?
new
Is that
armor
like?
set.
Is it a new armor set?
Yeah,
Okay, so that one is going
uh,
to replace the uh, the
possibly
the most
the
likely because it's T4. So
yeah,
yeah, it's gonna
and
be
the Rhyme
that's probably
Tusk Ice Mammoth. Yeah,
yeah okay, which makes sense because that should be more warmer than anything out there. So
yeah.
yes, it makes sense. So okay,
But yeah, Rhyme Tusk is on Prometheus, so it could be in the ice sheets. Again, I
yeah,
hope it's in the normal Arctic,
yeah.
but we will see.
So the sand
Um,
armor recipe used resin instead of epoxy. So it used, okay, epoxy. So they're changing it to
um,
resin. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so and they can see there below it, adding Quarite gear and the Run Tusk gear for their
yeah,
relevant campaigns on Olympus and Prometheus respectively. So,
exactly. So the gear is now gained via mission, so unlocked
yeah,
after completing or during doing the mission.
yeah. Legendary weapon upgrades all now cost 20 biomass.
Yeah, biomass, so the generic one.
Yeah.
So you need to defeat the quarry at least once to unlock it, but then you can use the biomass you get from black wolves to upgrade your quarite weapon. But you need at least do them once, so at least there's that. There is going to be an Arctic survival armor.
I saw that. Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get more Arctic armor. Good, good. Dusty miner armor.
Okay, and achievement crushing it implementation, which is breaking rocks with a sledgehammer. I think I've never used that. We've only
Not on a
used the
rock,
sledgehammer.
no.
Exactly, we haven't. We've used it against the obsidian and against the
This
swordite.
sledgehammer might be the legendary one though.
Could be, could be. Yeah.
Alright. Added outpost building accolade. Now this could either be an outpost in game, like outpost mode, or like a rebuilding or repairing whatever an outpost in one of the missions.
Yeah, and I can
I'm
see
not
over
sure
here
which
that
of the two is going to be.
no idea, but I do see that they added biomass entries of 2 retext documents for purchasing 12.7 millimeter rounds. So I think I know how big the sniper rifle rounds are going to be.
Yep.
So yeah, they're
New
probably
accolade. Few meteor. Oh, you have to be within a specific range of the meteor.
yeah. I mean
Maybe.
that's still a pretty cool achievement to be honest, because definitely I've
Oh yeah.
seen the meteor coming down once before was pretty cool. I only saw it the once. You've probably seen it a couple more times,
Oh yeah.
but
I have.
since we've played, I've only seen it once, so it was pretty cool. It would have been
I
nice to be able to also see it from like a super outside of the biome distance, where you would see there is something going towards the volcanic biome, for example, but not actually seeing it, as if
oh,
you were to be in it. But
I
yeah.
have one open world, the one with the bugged red exotics tree,
Yeah.
where I
Mhm.
know that is where the meteor is gonna hit.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So if there is an accolade like being hit by meteor, I know where to go.
Oh, yeah.
If
Oh,
rather
yeah.
easy to get that accolade.
You just have to wait the time to just
Exactly.
have it come down. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the time is exactly every 3 hours. If you look
Yeah.
at the map, it has the timer at the bottom right. I believe it's a map screen
Okay.
or the inventory screen.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
long you have been playing on that open world or on that prospect.
Yeah.
And every 3 hour on the dot is the meteor event. So
That's
it's
yeah.
not 3 hours after you empty a vein. No,
Correct. That's when it hits it. Yeah.
every 3 hours on the dot is checking, is there an empty vein? Yes, I'm gonna do a meteor event.
Mhm. Okay, here we go. So achievements. So comfy I can't move, which is sleep with at least 250 coziness level. What is our current? I think our coziness level at the moment in the main base is in the 200s, but I think it's lower than 250. I
Easy
think.
to get up there. I mean, you can
No, it
do
is,
the cheesy
but
method of stacking a whole
just
lot of
stacking.
rocks,
Yeah,
or
not true.
you put a couple of paintings and paintings around. And you can put like the trophies up
Yeah.
and everything. I mean,
I mean,
I
yeah.
can put a lot of paintings in the. If you're looking at the Prometheus one, I reckon you mean.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
one, which is
in
about
the greenhouse,
220, I think.
in the greenhouse
Yeah.
is close to the beds, and I can put a lot of
Yeah.
paintings up there. So
Sure, but like I said, I don't want to cheese it. I'm just saying that usually you would want to
yeah,
make it nice by putting, because we have quite a few things. We've got little bobblehead things, we've got nice beds, we've got the fireplace, we've
yeah.
got the paintings, because there's a couple of paintings, but we could do have a few more. But it's basically, because we had the golden frame one that we got from the one mission item, for example. We have the whiteboard, which theoretically should be a coziness thing.
Whiteboard, yeah. But yeah, we
But
can
like,
make a lot of paintings.
yeah, but like I said,
Very
but I
easy.
actually want them to change it similar to how Valheim had it done, which means that certain items have higher values, but obviously 250 is quite significantly higher than another system. But realistically, I think there should be like a cap at how many points you could gain from
There
certain
is
items.
no, not for certain items, but there is a total cap. I believe 300 something
Yeah.
is where it stops having effect if you add more.
No, but it was like, for example, oh, I would just stack a bunch of chairs because they gave the highest. No, it's like, oh, no, chairs would give you a maximum of 4 per, you know, it's 4x the higher whatever the tier rating of the item is. You could if you stacked 100 chairs, it wouldn't give you any more other than 4 chairs worth. Now paintings, on the other hand, yeah, paintings could probably go up to like 10 or 20, because yes, that's something with more diversity and something you would
Yeah.
use more of. Tables, maybe 2 or 3 or 4, depending on whether maybe 5 or something similar as well. But make it so that it's sort of that you don't
Paintings is
that you
like
can't
30,
cheese it.
40, 50 different
No,
images you
yeah.
can
So
put on
yeah,
a painting. So
true.
yeah.
So theoretically, you could cheese it using paintings, definitely, 100%. But just make it so that you can't cheese it really stupidly with like just
Yeah.
make a bunch of but like I said, try and build some common sense into it. But either way, there's an achievement for that, so that's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
New accolade: lose 80% health, block 5,000. So block 5,000 damage, I reckon. Lose
But is
80%
that
health. Well, that's easy. Just stand still while you get mauled by a polar bear. You die, and then you lost 80% health.
yeah, but true. But it depends on how if it was in like one shot, so you had to sort of have because if you think about it, if you
Ooh,
had to
the 80% in one shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So imagine
Well,
the great
well,
ape.
yeah.
Maybe the great ape, yeah, with his he's hitting you with a tree trunk. So you were like, oh, I have my
Shouldn't
shield
be
out because I'm gonna hit in the face. So yeah,
shouldn't be too hard actually, you know. Get hit by
that's
a
true.
polar bear when you have no food buffs active and no armor on, etc.,
No,
etc.
but you need to block 5,000.
Oh,
So
it's
if you
if
don't have
ooh,
enough,
if it's this is in one and the same note. It's new
yeah,
accolades
that's
plural, accolades plural.
okay, I see.
Phew, yeah.
Okay,
Lose
because I was
80%
thinking
health
it's
and block 5k all in the
yeah,
same run for
yeah,
one
which is
accolade. Oh, that's gonna be
well,
tough.
it just means that you have to have the highest tier damage, focus, resist, you shall not pass shield, and something big enough to do the damage that you need to block. But
Yeah,
then obviously you need to calculate it to the point that yes, so usually you would have like, oh, if you manage to shield block the great ape sort of thing, you would get it because you were dumb enough or smart enough to use a shield at the point in time and tank the shot from the boss.
yeah.
So yeah, I personally haven't used the shield much at all. No, I haven't used
Now
it. I
the
know that
shield
I have
is
it on my back.
also a passive block.
Yeah, I know, but that's I don't really need it. I would rather
Yeah.
exchange the shield for like a backpack, catapult ballista thing that I can just fold out
Nah,
and
but
put down and shoot something.
if you go,
So
for example, you go fight a black wolf, you ignore the pack wolves, you just focus on the black wolf, and the pack wolf's hitting you.
from
A
the
lot
back,
of
yeah,
it's
yeah.
being absorbed by your shield.
True, but usually the things that are biting me are in front of me. I am a soldier or I am a warrior. Scars on the back are for cowards, so no.
Well,
Uh,
depends. I mean, you can like charge in straight towards the black wolf, ignore the black wolves. They come after you
uh,
and then hit you from
uh,
behind.
So a scar on the back is a shame for a swordsman. So
Uh, as long as it's accompanied by a a scar on the front, then it's okay.
yeah, well, that's not the
But
saying,
it's,
but
when you have like more scars on the back than on the front, yeah, okay, I kind of agree
yeah.
to an extent.
Okay, they reduced legendary gauntlet attack speed and damage, so that's just a flat out nerf.
Yeah. Another
Um,
achievement: professional chef implementation. Cook a meal while wearing the chef's backpack.
ah, okay, yeah, true.
It increases the effect of your food. That's why if
It
you like,
does?
yeah, if you make the watermelon lollipops, right? They
Yeah,
normally
yeah, yeah,
reduce
yeah.
your overcomers penalty
50.
by 50%.
Yeah.
You you craft those whilst wearing the backpack.
Uh-huh.
Not only start the craft, but keep wearing the backpack until
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
complete
yeah.
crafting is done. Um,
Where's
then when
when?
you are over encumbered, you take one of those lollipops and you equip your Neve's pickaxe, and then you have a negative speed buff. So you are
Interesting, but that means,
faster when you're over encumbered.
but that's ridiculous because I didn't know about this backpack. Is this something that's currently in the workshop?
Yeah, it's been there for a while already.
Interesting. So it will give you faster attack swinging speed with dried stringy and
Yes,
or
yes.
no, because that's no. It's only when you're cooking it because putting something
Uh,
in
it it's
is
it's
is it
about it's
starting the
the food buffs.
yeah, I
Now,
know.
if you have
Oh, so it's just consuming it. It gives you better buffs.
if you
Not when you're
consume a food cooked whilst wearing the backpack, if you cook a food or prepare a food whilst wearing the backpack, then that food will get the increased buff.
Okay, I'll
So
probably buy
dried
one to
stringy
test it,
meat,
but
make it in the
yeah.
smoker, not on the
But that's
drying
the thing.
rack.
But you don't make it. You put meat on the dried stringy thing, and then it starts
Yes,
drying.
if you
So
put it
does
on
it
the
get the
drying rack,
bonus?
yes. But you can make dried stringy meat
Yes,
in the smoker, and there you
correct.
actively start
Oh,
the
you're right. Yeah, I
crafting.
haven't
So
tried
you
that. Okay,
actively
no, that's
craft
good.
it.
Yeah, good, good, good. Yeah, so that does make more sense
So
then.
yeah,
So
my
in
mining
that case,
speed can be increased even more.
yeah, I want to see how blistering fast I can swing a knife in my knife character then.
And it
So,
also reduces the spoil time though.
oh, that's also nice. Actually, I wasn't aware of any of
Not
those.
sure about that. My chocolate cake, even when salted,
Yeah,
when
wasn't
the
very
food
long.
was run out, I've like less than a minute to
Yeah, to
eat the
consume the
next
next
one.
one.
Yeah,
Correct. Yeah, unless you had a buff such as a
that's cooling next
honey
backpack.
smoked whatever, because that would increase the duration of your buff.
Yeah,
But
and then
and then it would have
the
spoilt. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that was the
Week 177 cooling next backpack.
okay. But I'll maybe take a look at that because you know that is something that would be pretty cool to be actually creating better tiered foods as well, which give you
Yeah,
more buffs and
yeah,
especially like you
those
just
buff
mentioned.
increases is nice.
Yeah, because realistically, going from to be going faster when you're over encumbered is pretty cool.
Yeah, and
So
I've tried it out, and yes,
you've tasted it,
you
yeah, yeah,
are
yeah.
faster when over encumbered than when not over encumbered.
Well, I can get another 10% speed buff. That's all I'm hearing. So it sounds good to me. So for my
No.
speed character, I'll try to look at it.
Added
Let's see.
dog fetch accolade, for which you would need, by the way, to buy a dog from the workshop, and you can learn it how to fetch. Doesn't
Yeah,
always work, but
you
it,
don't need the pet's companion pack for it because you can obviously get
yeah, you
one
have
of the normal ones.
the like one or two standard dogs,
Like a yeah. So
like
like
yeah.
I think it's in there. Yeah. Killed a tamed pet killer, or
What two above? Let's go to them one by one. The time survived in outposts accolade. I am afraid this is going to be outpost mode. So
yeah,
if
I'm
you
not
want to get
interested in
that
that.
accolade, you'll have to
Yeah, buy the outpost pack.
start. No, there are three outposts in the base game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you will have to start an outpost and spend time in the outpost. So
Yeah, so then there's one for mounts reaching 50, which my MOA still isn't on, and pets reaching 25, which is
yeah.
not as large, but that's nice.
So on my solo Olympus open world, which I'm currently actively playing, uh, I have one mount on level 48. It's the first mount I got, and I've spent a lot of hours in that outpost or in that open world already. So
I would
yeah,
say try and
I
prevent him from getting to 50 because I'm not sure if this accolade would be triggered on the leveling up or whether or not it would detect that you have a level
true.
50. So I would
Uh,
say try and
Now, if you
sort of
want
not have
to
him 50.
increase the speed of the leveling, consider doing enzyme geysers, where you put the pet inside
Yeah,
the enclosure with the enzyme geyser itself.
yeah, it's easy to force level it because that's what we did with my MOA a little bit.
Yeah,
And obviously the wolves love having fresh meat to go eat as they're sort of, because they can take down quite a bit on their own.
yeah, but
But
also
yeah.
like if you put them safe, then they still
Mm.
get the shared experience,
Yeah, true. But I would say, yeah, I mean, get a
which is
couple
by the
of
way
wolves.
quite a lot for running an enzyme geyser.
Yeah, that is because there was a lot of bears, a lot of things attacking you. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's a ton of experience, and it's the easiest way to farm stringy meats, and
yeah,
definitely doing a whole
and
bunch of stuff like
bones
that.
and
So
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's definitely a good run. It's not so much for the enzymes because what do you need those for?
Statues.
Um, yeah, yeah, pretty
So
much. Which is
aesthetics.
you run them for XP basically. So that's the
Yeah.
main reason, and for resources, obviously, if you need them.
Some exotics, but they're way easier methods to get exotics.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I'll pass on that. I think the black wolf we killed when we found the den just coincidentally, that
It's like
was like
50 or so.
yeah, it was like 40 something,
Yeah.
46 if I recall exactly. So it was still a small amount, but it's less than you know. I mean, it's free
Yeah.
exotics, but yeah.
For the black wolves, it's very easy, cheesy method.
Well, I was surprised
Take
to
your
see.
mount, run
Mhm,
through the area, have all the pack wolves come after you. Then you like walk with your pet, so they
mhm.
can about keep up. Then when you're a ways away, then you start running. You lose them. They lose aggro. You double back, go back to the black wolf lairs. There's only the black wolf remaining with maybe 1 or 2 pack wolves. And the other ones,
Yeah.
because they are not dead, they're not gonna respawn.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it is a cheesy method
Cheesy
to
way.
very easily get rid of the
Yeah.
black wolf.
And here is your accolade,
Updated
which is a
tamed pet kill accolades to only count for pets and not for mounts. So
yeah,
tamed pet kill, you have to kill an animal you got from the workshop.
yeah. But
So you
that's not
can
the
get,
one I'm referring to.
then they can get like
Yeah,
the trophy for it as well, etc. Yeah.
that's fine. The one I'm talking about is the new accolade, kill bare hands.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yes,
So I
that one
assume it's
is.
like the last blow with your hands. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm assuming, but you just kill the bear with your hands, so
No.
it's fine. You've done that before, so
Oh yeah.
that's fine.
If I want to
It's
give
good.
the bear a
It's
chance.
good. It's a good idea that they're introducing things like, I mean, that we put like, for example, oh yeah, let's just kill this bear with our hands. Oh, finally, they put like achievements or
Yeah.
accolades or like things
Yeah,
in
I
it
mean,
for, hey,
who is crazy
you know.
enough to kill a bear with your bare hands?
Well, you do. I mean, it's like, oh, I'm bored.
We
I'm gonna
are.
go kill a bear with my hands. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, so go do it. But it's also probably the same thing for other animals as well. It's like, wrestling,
Uh, I'm
so it
not
might
gonna
be
do a
more
polar bear with
difficult.
my hands though.
Uh,
The health respawn is
Stalker.
bigger, is more than the damage I can do with my fists. So
Well, I mean, you never know. Maybe there was a punching mod that you could put onto your gloves that gives you more damage. I don't
uh,
know. I
no,
haven't checked to that degree, but
no,
regardless,
there isn't.
yeah. Um,
A new
so
accolade saved church.
yeah,
New accolade order horse. So definitely from the workshop.
so they added some new arm attachments for the crossbow sandworm or the
Yeah,
sandworm
they've
crossbow.
been doing a bit of rework on the whole sandworm crossbow thing.
Yeah,
Removed
seems
the
like
4 arms before they're no longer needed, etc.
yeah. So it's definitely a bunch of changes that we've seen. Oh, we've skipped most of them, but yeah, it seems
Yeah.
good. Um,
Let's see. Adding modifier when player uses the alternate fire
yeah.
A club attack increases melee damage by 200%. And it lasts 1 second and then the buff is removed. The modifier is
I'm
removed.
assuming it's like a shout or something like that to then get
Alternative
a
fire.
buff. Yeah,
So
like I said, yeah.
maybe that is the sweep attack thingy.
It
Like you
could be,
don't
yeah. It could be, yeah.
hit it vertically, but you like sweep horizontally.
See, but it doesn't make sense that they would do more damage, but yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah.
Mm,
It's usually like a strong attack. In most games, you
yeah,
have the left click for a light, quick attack, and then you have the right
yeah.
click or a hold click, which is a longer, powerful attack. But yeah,
I think this is
good
going to
one.
be the same one here. The alternate fire attack. So it's
Yeah.
the right mouse button. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a different bound weapon. So I personally wouldn't have it to like a mouse 4 or something, but regardless.
Swapping out
Um,
central crossbow core piece with a new 4 arm piece and remove the old
yeah, I saw that.
arms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
attachment is no longer required.
A four-arm crossbow would look like more like what is it? It's like a ballista, but there's special ballistas that had like 4 arms on them, which were like, or like in the movies with dragon bows, it's like ballista thingies. They would depictate them with 4 arms with 2 strings kind of thing shooting the bolt. So it is
Don't
aesthetically
forget,
pretty
this
cool.
sandworm crossbow is going to fire javelins.
Yeah,
It's
it's true,
not going to
true,
fire
which is
bolts, it's
true,
javelins. So,
correct, but that's the thing. So it's pretty cool.
yeah.
I like it. It's good.
Here's something for you. Adding sniper rifle ammo to the workshop. Assault
Yeah,
rifle
like I said,
ammo and the bundle. The rifle ammo in the bundle.
yeah, but
Standardized
like
ammo bundles for
oh, in
firearms.
the workshop.
In the workshop, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
nice. Finally. But is there crossbow bolts?
No, there's nothing about crossbow.
The freaking
Sorry,
idiot
but
missed the freaking bolts. You can buy everything then, including freaking like sniper bullets, which you can't. Which is interesting though, because does that mean they're eventually planning on having workshop
there
sniper
is no.
rifles and assault rifles?
There's a legendary sniper rifle.
Yeah, but the purpose of having a workshop, in my mind, is purely
So
because you plan to drop down planet side with your equipment, like the old mentality, which is like I'm taking stuff down with
yeah,
me, not
but here's
specifically.
something I haven't thought about yet. Can you send your legendary weapons up to the workshop and thus use on another prospect?
I I have an inkling suspicion that there might be a possibility to do that, but I really want them
Because
to sort out
if
the workshop inventory way before they do that.
true, but if you can send your legendary weapons up to space, then it makes sense that it's going to be a sniper rifle ammo pack in the workshop.
Maybe, and the same thing applies to the rest, but
But
like
yeah,
I said, it's just that
assault
usually,
rifle, a rifle, normal rifle, there are no legendary weapons for those. So yes, you
exactly,
can
so
get the ammo bundles from the workshop, but why would you ever do that? Only if you don't wanna spend the time and resources to craft that planet
yeah,
site. You're like, you know, I have half a
just
million
spin
ren, I'll
rents,
just
yeah,
gonna,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, it actually is not a bad idea then to some extent because there are some players which have, like you said, 500,000 rand, and then they can't really spend it on anything else. They're already buying whatever have you, the resources that they can. But the quickest way to probably burn through a stack of credits is probably to buy things which get expended quite quickly, and assault rifle and these things are going to be one ways you could dump it in and actually get
yeah,
possibly a little bit of a damage buff.
a
So yeah.
resource dump, yeah,
Yeah, but yet
or
again,
currency
that's
dump,
they missed the bolts. Okay,
yeah.
next.
Put in feature request, let's say.
No, it's fine. Until I get my double queued fireplace cooking thing, I'm not touching it. It's like I made my
Okay,
suggestion, and you guys are
okay.
ignoring it. It's a pretty freaking big suggestion. It would freaking work. It's just make it so that you cook in two queues because it's a freaking higher tier, bigger thing, rather than just a small pit. I'm just saying,
Sure.
logically, I'm right. It's the way.
More accolades. The order cat,
Yeah.
order chicken, order dog. All three from the workshop.
Yeah, nice. It's good
Daisy
that they sort of,
escort
yeah.
success. So that's the first
Oh yeah.
Prometheus storyline. Second
Well,
Prometheus storyline mission. But the first.
why would you give an accolade for
Because a
doing
lot of
completing
people
the
are
mission?
like, Daisy is useless. I'm just gonna kill her to, so I don't have
Oh,
to protect her on the way to the base and back home, etc.,
do you
etc.
finish the mission?
Yeah,
Was it a sub? Was it a sub?
it is
A sub?
optional.
Or was
Keep
it an
Daisy alive
optional?
is optional.
Oh, okay,
So
I
a
see.
lot
Okay,
of
that
people were
explains it.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
got
I
it.
can't be bothered. I'll just kill her.
No, I thought it was a requirement. So
No,
if
no,
it
no,
wasn't
no.
a requirement and it was an option, then it makes sense. So yeah,
Optional.
sorry, that was my bad.
And Abyss. Not sure where that would be for. And the
And
first,
Abyss.
yeah,
Um, no idea.
maybe like finish the last null sector mission. I don't know.
Ah, pet death accolade. That sucks.
And a first drop prom story.
Yeah, I'm assuming the first drop is maybe calling in your first drop.
Prometheus storyline quest, of which the Daisy escort is a part. Eh.
Ah, okay, I got it.
Added pet death accolade. Now I wonder if you kill the pet yourself. No, that was a
You get
different
both,
accolade.
maybe.
That's a
That was a
different
different one,
accolade.
yeah.
Yeah,
So this is like
kill a
the
pet.
pet dies in battle.
Yeah.
So this is just I have a pet.
Yeah.
And probably one of those would probably also be related to the Moa having the Phoenix buff. So have a pet that has
Reincarnation
because
basically.
you
Yeah.
have exactly because it is.
You get the
I'm
juvenile when he dies.
exactly, but it was like okay, well, it's semi a pointless thing because it just goes back to level one. So it's like why even have it? So it's like, oh, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's not
I've
something
never
I would
tried
want
it
to find
actually.
out. Exactly. I don't want to lose my mount. It's like it took a bunch of levels to get there.
So what you could do is if you have like this talent on your MOA, send it to the workshop, to the space station, sorry. Then exit the game, make a copy of your mounts.json file, provide a game backup,
Awesome.
call down the MOA, kill it, see what happens, exit the game, restore the mounts.json file, and then you
I'll
have
I'll
your
play it
original
normally.
one. Okay.
If something happens and I get smacked to a piece or we've done a mission, it has been close before though. When we were in the swamp and we
Yeah.
put the moas in that log, mine was as close to death as I would have ever wanted to have had it.
Yeah, the one
I was not
where we
happy.
were in the tree house.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wasn't happy about that. So
Yeah.
definitely, that's why I leveled up more toughness and stuff on
Yeah.
him. But regardless,
Added tamed
reload
creature
animations.
tracker.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
So you have to be rather close to the mine before it shows up on a HUD. But a tracker might
Maybe.
be handy indeed.
Yeah.
And
To,
more
well,
acolytes for taming 1
I
and 10
thought
creatures. But
I thought you always saw the white thingy for any
no,
tame
you
creature,
have to
regardless
be
of where they
quite
were.
close before it
Or
shows
is
up
it?
on a HUD. Yeah.
Or is it? Not on the
Yeah.
HUD, but on the map. Like if you push
Ah,
the
the
map.
map?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. But the HUD,
Yeah.
you have to
It's
be
like I
quite
lost
close.
Fluffy. Where's Fluffy? Oh, Fluffy is somewhere in the Arctic somewhere. There's a green, a white. Now it would make it quite easier if it was not a white arrow on the big map, so you have to freaking
True.
zoom in and look everywhere.
True.
But you know, a tracker, yeah, makes sense. And you get an accolade for taming 1 and 10
Yeah,
creatures.
so
So
accolades
yeah,
is this is not Steam achievements, but it's like the
yeah,
accolades where you have to,
in
like
game,
the
yeah, yeah,
X kills and pistol kills
yeah.
and whatever you have you
Well, like I said, I
uh,
like the fact that they sort of
crafting, mining, etc. Yeah,
giving you more things to do, well, to achieve whilst playing the game.
yeah.
Like I said, if there's no reason to it, or if there's just no benefit to leveling up a skill because there's no skill-based system in the game, then that's it.
Yeah.
Sniper rifle silencer upgrade loudness reduction to 90%. Now here's the thing
And
about any
90%,
silencers.
the reduction increased by 90%
Yeah,
to minus
yeah,
90%.
yeah, I know, but my point there is that a silencer is practically useless in general in a game where you usually use a silencer or a suppressor in games to prevent the enemy from knowing where you are.
Well,
However, it doesn't really matter in my opinion because
actually
the
it
the
does.
stealth mechanics in the game suck.
Um, if you hit an animal from stealth and you don't kill it, it's going towards where it was shot from. So you hit it, and then you walk
Yes,
away, you walk sideways, then the
yes,
animal is going to go to the place from where it was shot, and then you can shoot it again, still being stealth. If you're
yes,
in the forest, you have cover, and etc.
and I'm pretty sure if you take a bow and you shoot a wolf, that the wolf isn't going to know exactly where he got hit from and walk directly in the direction in a straight line from where he got hit from.
They kind of do.
In the game they do, but
Yeah.
in real life they
Real life, no,
don't.
yeah. True,
That was
true.
my point. In real life they yelp and they run or they die. They don't do, the behavior isn't the same, and you could expand that to all of the creatures that are considered aggressive because obviously deer just bolt, so it's obviously different. But yeah, it's the stealth mechanic in the sense that you're sort of get your crit damage, and or here's another thing. So the bear or the wolf or the target or whatever is alerted. He doesn't know where you are, but when I shoot him again, because it's alerted, you don't get the stealth damage anymore. You don't get the critical stealth damage multiplier anymore. So if it did, then it would make sense, but it doesn't. Because as soon
Mm,
as the creature becomes alerted, you lose all stealth bonuses are gone.
and I think you still get a stealth damage if he doesn't see you.
That's the thing, it doesn't
He
as far as
might
I
be
know.
alerted,
Uh,
and he will be running towards where you were shooting from. But again, if you move away from that position, he doesn't see you, and you shoot him again. I think you still get the. But I haven't tested it extensively.
well, we would have to probably use a ghillie suit because we usually are in like composite armor. So when the bear turns and he sees a gray thing in the distance, because we're obviously shooting them from some distance away, I don't know what the eyesight capabilities are of a bear. I don't think it's
Uh,
amazing,
just,
but
just, just make sure he doesn't have direct line of sight to you. So
well,
you like obtain him, yeah, and then so you see the health bar, go behind a bush. So you have to like there's the
yeah,
health bar, and I have to aim there to hit him, and then you can shoot him, and you hit him, and then you
like I
walk
said,
away still without line of sight, and
yeah, like I said, the stealth mechanic sucks. So
mm,
like I said, it doesn't make much of a difference because the stealth mechanic sucks. But yeah, anyway, moving on.
more accolades. Eat cake, destroy drone, all 6 story missions Prometheus.
Okay.
Let's see.
Uh,
Listen club.
a red exotic accolade, so that's definitely probably like, oh, thank you for collecting, or congratulations for collecting 100, 1,000,
Yeah, I think so.
10,000, or 100,000, because obviously certain people have tons of it.
Yeah.
That's usually a lot of games have those. Same thing for exotics. If they're, I'm not sure if those already exist.
And don't think so actually. I'd have to have a look. I don't think so, but
Mm,
achievement Sikkim. Tamed
yeah,
pet makes a kill implementation. On creature killed, delegate switching killing blow variable to be pawn instead of player to allow this. Will this then break the like if you and your wolves are attacking one of them world bosses and the wolf gets the killing blow right now, you as a player still get rewarded with like, hey, you killed this animal.
could be.
Now, if they switch a killing blow variable to be pawn instead of player to implement the tamed pet makes the kill implementation, will that then break this function where every player, if he has hit the animal at least once, still getting the accolade? I mean, I remember back in the day we were fighting our first mammoth, right? With
Yeah,
the four of us.
the tip.
And only one
Yeah.
of us got the accolade like, hey, you killed a mammoth.
Hmm.
Only the player who dealt the killing blow. And if you shot him with like fire arrows and the fire tick did the last damage, none of the players got credited
I'm
for
actually
killing the
I'm
mammoth.
actually wondering if this has got something to do with the well, it says tamed pet. Yeah, so I thought it was like good to do with the wolf has a targeted ability where they mark the creature, which is like
And
the
then the
thing.
next
But
attack
yeah,
does do more damage or something.
I think so. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
chance-based thing, but there was also a weird thing because it was almost like a kill command kind of thing, and I can't recall exactly all the wording for it. But yeah, if this is just the pet kills a creature, then great. Um, but
I
yeah,
think
then it
so.
is to the point where if you already have achieved it, whether or not that affects any of the other ones, like you said, it could be. So,
We'll have to see.
so they adjusted the legendary bow's weight to 1 kilo.
No,
Um,
it was 1 kilo, and it was far too
yeah,
light.
of course, 1 kilo for a bow is extremely light. I mean, it depends on the
I have
type of
no
bow,
idea.
but that's not bad. I mean, a composite bow is, it's not more, it's not too heavy. I think a kilo is, it's still, that's too light, but you know, making it a little bit heavier depends on how much they made it. But yeah,
It is a legendary. It's like Sandworm is like very sturdy and very big, I reckon.
yeah, but if it's made out of, exactly, if it's made out of components from a dead creature, you're not going to be able to make it as thin as refined composite titanium, woven, reinforced carbon, whatever have you.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Um, Added the Icebreaker encounter accolade. So encounter the Rhymetusk.
hmm,
I think this Icebreaker. Or is it gonna be new creature? I mean, Ice Mammoth, yes. Icebreaker, don't know. Added potential fix for the icebreaker falling beneath worlds temporarily while playing montages. So it's a beautiful sound and like, oh, I'm falling. Yep, teleports back up.
yeah.
Huh?
Added an icebreaker encounter accolade.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one above, I know. But yeah,
yeah.
icebreaker, is it gonna be Ice Mammoth? Is icebreaker yet another name for the Rhyme Tusk? Or is it gonna be a
Could be,
new animal?
could be, could be.
In
But
which
there's a
case,
lot of
this is gonna
accolades
be for
over here.
Elysium.
Yeah. So I'm gonna skip some of these
And an
because
accolade for defeating an enzyme-infused creature, is definitely null sector.
yeah,
For
yeah,
dying
yeah,
by fall damage in the null sector.
yeah,
And being revived, so it's relatively easy to check if you're with two players.
yeah.
To like check tick them off, both of
Ooh,
them. Surviving 5 hours in the null sector. Dis discovering Abyss Cave. Remember, there was this
yeah.
accolade
I
for
saw that. Yeah, the
Abyss.
best. Yeah, 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 yeah,
So I'm not sure this Abyss Cave, which one that is then. It might actually
yeah.
be that last cave then in the cave in the last storyline mission. It did have some fairly deep
Crevices. Yeah.
crevices in it. Yeah.
It's like that hole you mentioned, which you climbed out of, where I was not very comfortable going after the researcher that we had to trace. It's like, yeah, that was, I don't want to fall down that, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Added various null sector location accolades, various armor related accolades, a lot of accolades.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's, I'm skipping most of them. The one that I
Jelly
got down
Baby
to was
achievement?
interesting.
Huh. Alright. It's an
Saw
achievement,
that,
by the
yeah.
way, not
Yeah, I
an
saw that,
accolade.
yeah. Yeah. So the one I'm looking at over here was the weight pass on Clawfire, Slate Smasher, Behemoth, Frostbreaker, and then just Sniper. So I don't think they have a cool name yet for the sniper rifle.
Yeah, I think these are legendary weapons then, yeah.
Yeah, they are, yeah. There's names for them, I assumed.
Yeah.
So, and they reduced the stack side on the 12.7 to 50. So the sniper
Ooh,
rifle bullets are
this is
going to be,
half the other
yeah,
stacks.
yeah. It's a bigger round. I mean, 12.7 mil is freaking, that's big.
Is it?
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you say so. I have no
Well, it's not like
close to
massive,
no
but
experience with firearms, so.
I don't know what I mean, a 9 mil is quite common, but that's a pistol round. So, I mean, technically it's not massive,
This is
but the
like
diameter
what?
of the bore.
It's like less than half size increase, diameter increase.
Yeah, it's on a bullet that's big.
If you say so, like I said, I've close to no experience
Actually,
with
what is the
firearms.
dimension of a .50?
50 mil. I
Uh,
don't know.
no, it's 140 millimeters. Yeah, so, oh no, it's 77.
Wow. Point 50 is like
No, 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 no,
147
no.
mil.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, no, no,
length,
no, no.
length,
No,
not
that's the
diameter.
length. That's the
Yeah,
length. Yeah,
I really
exactly.
think
So,
like diameter. Okay, there's no
no,
rifle no more. There's a cannon.
no, exactly. Sorry, I just have to put in the word bullets, obviously. Yeah, so a 50 cal is 12.7 millimeters. Correct. Yeah. So it's just very strange that they would call it that, but yeah, it's a 50 cal is 12.7 millimeters.
Yeah.
So that is the sniper rifle ammo. Let's see. Oh yeah, so obviously they no longer the RG is no longer enemies with its worm summons. So RG is the ape RG I am are no
Let's
longer
see.
activated by charges of damage.
Where is it? I've seen it one somewhere when I was going through them
RG
this afternoon. Yeah,
rock
oh yeah,
golem,
here it
the rock
is.
golem obviously.
The rock
So the rock
golem.
golem, yeah,
So it's spawning some cave worms.
worms, yeah, and it's no longer
Uh,
enemies with it, so therefore
exactly.
they don't
So
fight each other.
the
Got it?
worms
Yeah,
not gonna attack the rock golem. They're gonna attack you as player.
yeah.
Fiction issue 2, 3 above. Fiction issue with spline access of pre-built structures not being cleaned up properly when a quest is abandoned. I've seen this happen quite a few times. I've had this happen to me as well. If you abandon a quest, pre-built structures don't always clean up proper, and then you might even have to restore a backup of your open world in order to get said mission properly completed. I had it with the one in the swamp where I had where I was like, we need a lot of ammo because there's the endless
Mhm.
waves of animals attacking this thing. And where at the end the big laser beam was supposed to come from the heavens, which we didn't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
unfortunately. That one.
Mhm.
When I did it on my solo, I had to abandon the prospect because I got overrun. And also the charging, like the counter stopped working and couldn't get it working again. So I abandoned it, restarted it again, and then this communication device was double. Like the old one was still there as well, and I couldn't connect my power to the correct one of the two.
Yeah,
So I
so it was
basically
completely
had
bugged.
to restore a backup. I was lucky I still had one. Otherwise, I would have been locked out of this of that operation. So I had
Yeah,
to restore an old backup file. So I lost like 8 hours of playtime or so. um, in order to get that mission done. So it's very annoying if the cleanup doesn't properly work.
Yep.
I've seen kind of the same with the Genesis operation on sticks. You know, which used to be the most bugged operation. You know, where you had to hatch an egg and the snuffles came out and you had to bring him to the pod. Don't know if you ever did that operation, but
Doesn't sound familiar, but yeah.
it used to be the most bugged mission in all of the game. They did do
Yeah.
a lot of massive improvements there. Uh, I will have to revisit my Styx open world to get another attempt there, but
Yeah.
that one as well didn't clean up the base proper. So I
That's
hope I
fair.
can still finish that mission.
I do see that they made some flare arrow changes. Flare arrow or particle effects and light now fade out before destruction, and the flare arrow smoke particles now last as long as the flare itself. I recall we played around with those when they introduced them. Is it just me, or was it that when you shot the flare arrow into something that it would immediately just extinguish? Or
No,
did
it
it
did
actually
not
still burn?
extinguish. When
Oh,
we
is it?
were shooting this in the mammoth, um, the mammoth got this green glow. Now we had like the ghost mammoth.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay,
Remember the
great. I
ghost
was.
mammoth?
Yeah. I can't remember that one. I remember we were hunting wolves, and then we used the flare arrows to try and create some light
Yeah.
when we were fighting them. But then it was just
There
like
is
we
a
had to shoot them in the air.
possibility, and that's
So,
the third bullet point, slightly adjusted location of lights and particles on the flare arrow will prevent some issues where the flashlight was completely obstructed by the surface it was shot into. So yes, you
ah,
had instances where you couldn't see the light no more, but
okay,
usually you still had the light.
okay, yeah, okay. That does
Uh,
make sense.
yeah,
So,
a couple of them above. The ape, the rock golem, and the ice mammoth no longer affected by crouched stealth damage.
yeah, like I said, stealth mechanics kind of suck or is strange in the
Well,
game.
so at least
So,
they don't work on those guys. So,
well, in general, oh, yeah, I mean, they don't work on there. Yeah, so theoretically, that statement does say that it should work on other creatures. So, yeah.
yeah, I mean you get a 2.5 times stealth bonus. I've actually had instances
Oh,
where
wait, you're right. Yeah.
I fired an arrow at a bear, uh, for example, stealth, so I did 2.5 times damage. Then he came running towards me and I finished him off with a knife, and every single knife hit got a 2.5 times damage, even though he was like standing right in front of me.
Yep, bugs.
Bugs. Useful bugs at this point though, but
Yeah,
bugs
true, true, true.
nonetheless.
Mm. Um,
Let's see. Fix few typos. Added remaining new achievement text.
so there is something about adding a Boolean stat affliction to specify if an attack causing affliction needs to deal damage, but the one below that was you can scan targets with the beast device, trigger some sort of ammo or slash and mark target without dealing damage. So maybe there is a way that you could sort of scan a creature
So
to
there is
learn
this
about its
beast
weak spot.
device which has been introduced quite a long time ago already. If you scan, I believe if you scan an animal with the beast device, you do extra damage against it, either the specific animal or that animal type for a certain period of time. Something to that
Yeah,
extent. I never used the beast device.
yeah.
Really got into using the beast device, but
But that's true, but it could be
um,
like, oh, you could do that against the
yeah,
the the, the bosses to do more damage, maybe. But because it is like,
yeah.
in honesty, it scans the thing. It says, oh, shoot it in the eye. That's its weak point. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. So yeah, it's
And telling you what it is weak to and resistant to. I
yeah.
mean, a couple of weeks ago they did increase the range of the beast scanner. So
And now they removed the fact because apparently it was dealing damage or it caused aggression sort of thing. So not just scanning it, or maybe I'm misinterpreting the bullet point. But yeah.
yeah.
Just in critical hit areas, so it uses armor damage, blah blah blah. Drill arrow. The drill arrow has also been constantly freaking changed,
Yep,
like in the
they're
past bunch of
still
patches.
working on it a lot.
Constantly.
Yep.
It's like pickaxe damage calculations, drill
Here,
arrow
give
calculations.
pickaxe the implicit stat, of 500% armor damage, and the drill arrows 200% armor damage.
Yeah, still changes. I mean, they did those things previous patch notes. Oh yeah, pickaxes do bonus damage against armor, and then
Yeah, I
like I
mean,
said, it's
this is
constantly.
all future content, so all still work
Yeah,
in progress. So yeah, obviously
true, true,
there's
true.
gonna be changes
Yeah,
there.
true, true, true.
Remove armor from visage, ice mammoth, land sharks, hammerhead slugs, and replace with additional health.
Yeah.
Add cam shake when mammoth rams ice pillars and destroys them.
Yeah, that's good.
The ground shake,
Annoys them.
so cam shake, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that to be the case, yeah. Unless you've
As,
got people that turn off camera shake because, camera shake could be,
um,
it's obviously disorientating, but it is,
yes,
I'm not sure if it's medically a risk for people that have like epilepsy or something like that.
yeah, okay. Personally,
So,
I don't have epilepsy, not as far as I know at least.
yeah,
So I keep the camera shake. Like if you are next to the thumper,
yeah,
it will do the camera shake as it should do, because
yeah,
it's like this massive thump on the ground. So yeah,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course you're gonna shake. So
I mean, in
for
certain games
immersion's
I turn
sake,
it
I
off.
keep it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely, I like the fact that everything should shake. I mean, it's a bloody
yeah,
mammoth that's coming charging down or crushing down half of a mountain or a pillar of rock, which is multiple tons. It's not just going to do that quietly. So definitely having the sound, which is important, and the visual effects of it would be, immersive, which is good.
yeah.
And yeah,
Achievement suited up implementation. Drop with a full loadout.
yeah. And here is the thing, adding a restriction so you can't purchase the sniper bow or gauntlet if you haven't completed the campaigns.
Yeah,
So it's obviously, yes, you can buy things, but you can't do so without putting in the work.
yeah. Now there is this line, removed unnecessary NPC lines so that the press F can be just one dialogue line and subtitles match. Now, I believe that it was something about an accolade or achievement press F or something. Yeah, the achievements P3, press F to pay respects implementation. Crushed by icebreaker. You know
Push F
where,
for respect. Yeah,
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 press F for respect. Sometimes it's the O7. Here's the press F.
yeah,
Pay respects in chat. So if you
yeah.
get crushed by the
O7.
icebreaker, you have
Yeah,
the achievement. Press F to pay respect.
yeah.
But
Well, good.
apparently, it's also an audio thingy or whatever. Removing unnecessary MC lines so that the press F can be just one dialogue line and the subtitles match. So if you do get that, apparently there is an audio line attached to it as well. Extra reason to get crushed by the icebreaker, so you get this audio line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically the patch notes. So I'd say we go get like 10-ish minutes break. Now we back for some continuation of our Styx Great Hunt base. Get some of the Inaris tools, test them out, etc. etc.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Then I'll be back with you in a sec, Carl. So those were the patch notes for this week. Like I said, we're gonna take a quick break, 10-ish minutes, and then I will be back with a new stream. In the meantime, I hope you folks enjoyed watching us go through the patch notes. We do this every week, go through them with a fine-tooth comb, so you don't have to. And especially like speculate in the future content, also a very nice part of going through the patch notes. But yeah, now if you did enjoy watching us go through the patch notes, you might get notified next time I stream. Feel free to hit that follow button, or if you watch this on YouTube and you want to get notified next time I upload something, feel free to hit that subscribe button. A like would be appreciated as well. Other than that, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a good time, and I hope I will see you folks around.